Hello and welcome to the BuyAirsoft.ca overview video for the King Arms M1 Carbine CO2 gas blowback rifle. The M1 Carbine was developed prior to the beginning of World War II due to US troops claiming that the M1 Garand was too cumbersome. It has seen action in both the European and Pacific theaters in the Second World War, time in the Korean War, Vietnam, and is still in use by some countries today. As usual, King Arms has opted to not include a printed user manual, but instead they have a printed QR code on the outside of the box, which will take you to the online manual. As you can see, the carbine is extremely well packed in foam, and there are no loose components floating around inside the box, so you can feel safe ordering this rifle and not having it arrive damaged. Let's go ahead and pull this stuff out. To start, here's what you can expect to find inside of the box. One 15-round CO2 magazine, and the King Arms M1 Carbine CO2 gas blowback rifle. The M1 Carbine, as shows, comes complete with a full wood stock and handguard with a beautiful finish. Despite this, it's quite lightweight, clocking in at just 2.5 kilograms. Starting from the rear of the carbine, let's take a look at some of the features. The rifle has a textured metal butt plate for ease of shouldering the rifle. There is a slot for a sling here, with its corresponding sling mount right up front here. The M1 has a metal rear sight, which you can adjust for windage by turning this knob here, as well as a winged front sight. The bolt and bolt handle are also obviously made of metal. Racking the bolt sounds fantastic and ultra realistic. You can lock the bolt back by pushing this button here while you have the bolt handle pulled all the way back. You'll need to use this function in order to adjust your hop-up. To adjust your hop-up, lock your bolt to the rear and insert an Allen key in this slot here. You should really only have to do this once, so you can set it and forget it. The metal trigger and trigger guard here are of nice quality. There's a nice clean break in the trigger, giving off a fantastic response. You can find your safety here, and activate the safety by flipping the switch so that it is pointing downward. This will completely lock your trigger, rendering it unable to fire. Just ahead of the safety switch, you'll find your magazine release, which is also made of metal. Finally, we have the bayonet lug, which only adds to the realism. The magazine is completely made of metal, right down to the feed lips and BB follower. It has a 15-round capacity, however it can be modified to hold 22 rounds quite easily. To increase the capacity, simply knock out this pin here, remove the spring guide, unscrew this portion, and reinstall. This will give you space for an extra 7 rounds. We'll now take this gun into the range for a quick firing demonstration. As you can see, the rifle provides a decent little amount of kickback, and the metal-on-metal blowback sounds fantastic. During the velocity test, we noticed that the FPS sat anywhere between 415 to 430 FPS for the duration of the mag. This concludes our video review for the King Arms M1 Carbine CO2 rifle. Direct links to the product page can be found down below. And as always, if you like what you saw and want to see more, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tag that notification bell for more. See you next time.